and welcome to Talk Together. Thank you for joining us for an evening of talking about Dungeons and Dragons and other TTRPGs and other computer RPGs as well. My name is Nat. I use she, her pronouns. I'll be your host tonight, and I will be chatting to the wonderful Samantha Béart. Samantha Béart is not one of the usual Roll Together players, I hear you say, nor are they part of the stream team. Well, maybe we've got them on because they do other cool stuff that's related to D&D, and if you don't know who they are, where have you been for the last 6 months, quite frankly? We'll get into talking to Sam properly very shortly. Before we kick this stream off properly, just to let you know, it's going to run for about an hour, and we are delighted to be sponsored by Phoenix Dice, supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Elderwood Academy, and Bearded Ladies. Thank you very much to all our sponsors and supporters. And if you want to find us and engage with us in a social media fashion, look for Roll Together RPG. And also, if you want to help us and support our work, you can join our D20 club and become one of our Patreons. There will be links in chat right now if you want to do all of that. Have a look for us. If you want to watch us live, we're here on Twitch. If you want to catch up later, we're on YouTube. And also, if you want to listen rather than watch, we're all on podcasts as well. Just search Roll Together RPG in all of those places and you will be able to find us. So, Samantha Béart.
Hello.
How the devil are you?
I'm very good. I'm in a forest.
Yeah.
Indoors. There seems to be a
very
rainstorm going on outside, but otherwise nice and cozy. So yeah.
Embrace the cozy. Yeah, we need
that.
Like this time of year, just any opportunity. Like I have this jumper that I'm just like, it is my favorite thing. It is so warm and cozy.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Like embracing the warmth. Like I said. So a little bit for those people who have not come across you and your body of work. I mean, you do play TTRPGs and D&D a little bit, correct?
I have played. It's been a bit busy for the last few months, you might notice.
Yeah.
I mean, most recently we did the High Rollers game.
Yeah.
The rest of the Baldur's Gate 3 cast. Before that, I was.
Well, you dropped the bomb there because I was going to say, okay, so you play some D&D, but actually the main thing that you do is Sam is a wonderful actor and is part of the cast of Baldur's Gate 3 as the amazing Karlach, everyone's favorite barbarian tiefling. So you did some D&D with High Rollers as part of the promo for all that, yeah?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And I think it's worth saying that, like, I don't know what you've said before I've come on, but like we've worked together, we've been friends for years, and we've been on the sort of game scene for a while. So it was not only, you know, I've talked about the fact that I know so many of the actors in this, but like know loads of the directors as well. So that's been really amazing as well.
I'm glad that you said that as well. So it's not like I'm coming on here being like, hey, can I have friends?
Yeah, but it's true.
It is true.
You're allowed to. It's actually true. So, like, we've known each other, what, 7 years now or something?
I think it was Adventure X 2017.
So that's 6 years.
I think that we met.
Yeah.
What
we do all the BAFTA crew, BAFTA Connect. So yeah, all the socials and that.
Yeah. And it's been like, I'm not in the cast of Baldur's Gate 3. I did audition for quite a few of the roles in it. Well. But obviously getting to work on it as a director was also incredible. But it's been, like you say, there's so many people that we know in this game that we knew beforehand that were maybe not well known beforehand as well. Yeah. And it's just been so wonderful to see you all thrive and blossom and be seen and recognized for... There's so many actors out there that don't get the recognition for the talent and the effort they put in. So
yeah, hopefully people realize how many good actors there are in the world. It's also super competitive and lots of amazing actors drop out before they get the chance, you know. So I'm glad you're seeing, was it the 248 of us in the game? Yeah. And
it's something like well, in the grand scheme of actors in general, I don't know if this is UK based, but I've heard statistics about like 2% of actors make a living off.
2% of actors in the UK make 20k or over.
Yeah. So
20,
a living.
which isn't a living, by the way.
Yeah.
That's maybe 1% make a living, And then the rest, 98%, are below £20,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's a 98% podcast, if that's why it's
Yes.
called that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, hugely competitive, and people who should be seen and celebrated and do wonderful things, unfortunately, circumstances mean that they can't. So it's just you have to kind of it gets into sort of wanky actor territory, but it's a privilege to still be standing and fighting, and it's one thing I wanted to actually talk about, and I did throw questions out to the Roll Together cast and our wider community to see if there's anything particular they wanted to hear you talk about. And the question, how did you get into acting, did come up. So I wanted to touch on that because I know that very often you hear stories of like, well, my mum was into acting, or, well, I just turned up for an audition one day and I happened to get it. And those stories are totally valid. And that is how the industry works. But it's also good to hear other stories. So how about you?
How long have we got?
Your journey like?
How long have we got? A long one. In terms of like wanting to become or actually being seen, because being seen is like the last year. Right, but otherwise the first professional job was 2005. That was A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But what would you prefer? Would you why did I want to act, or what was the actual journey?
Yeah, well, a little bit of both then.
Okay,
give me the spark notes of why acting.
Those spark notes, acting because I find it very cathartic. It was something I was talking about on the It Is Complicated podcast, because I asked them, the hosts, why they were finding this game so engaging, because one of the hosts is someone who just they play tabletop. They don't really play video games, and they are sticking with this game, and it's quite a learning curve, the old CRPG at the best of times, but it's not the most simple UI, let's put it that way. I mean, probably easier if you know the game. If you know Dungeons and Dragons, you got a chance, but if you're going in the other way around, it might be quite difficult. But they said that it was to do with role playing, and then we explored what role playing means, and it's to do with obviously you're immersed, you're in a safe space, you're wearing a mask, people don't know what's you and what isn't you. You're also getting, what did they call it, the bleed effect, that if you discover something about yourself, you take it into the real world. And basically everything I've just said is the reason I act. And it took me a long time, because so many are extroverts and they want to stand up and be funny and be seen, and that's totally cool. But that was never me, and I couldn't quite work it out till very recently. But I always said it was cathartic because just in my situation, I was brought up in a very traditional Catholic household. My father was Irish and my mother's Jamaican. We call her the enforcer because she wasn't Catholic. We had to be Catholic because that was the only way the church would marry them. And they're not sort of known Catholics for the effusiveness of emotion or anything like that. So without wanting to say repressed, because it just wasn't particularly encouraged. So when I got the chance to express myself in that way, and again, this sort of safe space of other people and behaving in a way maybe I wouldn't be allowed to, it was very liberating. So, and I don't come from a background of entertainers or anything, so it was a long road, and I'm not from that sort of the class of people that know that drama school is a thing. So I'd already done my degree, already gone, oh, Shakespeare on stage, that makes sense, want to do that. Then I landed.
Did you do an English degree?
Yeah, English literature, and I did a module on Shakespeare, and because I was in London, I got the chance to go and see everything we were studying on stage, and it was a real revelation because I hadn't really experienced that before, and that put me on the path. And I wasn't doing my best work. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought maybe there's something to this, and it took me a long time to even know that drama school was a thing. And you notice in interviews with people, they sort of skip over it, don't they? Oh yeah, and then when I got out of drama school, the agent called me up, and then that's when I got my big Hollywood role, and that's not what it is for most of us at all. So I did that, got out the other end. It didn't book anything. While they thought I was a good actor, I pretty much got into every school I auditioned for, but that had nothing to do with the industry. The skill has nothing to do with the industry, and they don't train you for the industry. But I got out the other end of Guildhall, and you do the big showcase in front of the agents, and this is not seen as commercial. I'm, for want of a better phrase, ethnically ambiguous. And then I have a very small pool of people, agents and casting directors, telling me that I don't look like a British person, that I don't come from London, bye. And so that's how I ended up in audio. And I was doing that for years and years and years and years and years. And I made a sort of sidestep into games because I was doing a lot of sci-fi and fantasy. I think probably because I started with Hitchhiker's Guide, but I was doing a load for Big Finish on Torchwood and Doctor Who box sets and things like that. And then, you know, Sandman, Aliens as well, Aliens box set with Dirk Maggs.
Amazing.
And doing that for ages and going, hang on a sec, I play video games. I like sci-fi. Maybe we can put what am I doing here? And then, yeah, I started asking, but the lack of gatekeeping in games is good and bad, right? It's good because it's good for us because people like me get a chance, and it's not all around, you know, big names. These casts are huge. Hopefully, I mean, my personal experience is it has kind of been the best person for the job. I'm not getting the feedback that I used to get, which was my looks or my gender presentation or whatever. It's just, do I fit the role or not? But the bad thing is no one remembers you because there's no real casting directors.
Yeah.
So you do a big job like Baldur's Gate and they aren't kicking the doors down to get you on the next project. So, you know, that's the reality of it.
You have to keep that Scrabble up, and it can be exhausting.
And we both worked on a game called The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, didn't we?
Yeah,
Which was lauded for its performances. And I think because we all come from, well, most of us come from acting rather than voice acting particularly, there's a way of approaching text, isn't there, in this sort of storytelling, when certainly in Baldur's Gate, with a physical element in it, because we keep getting called voice actors. And there's very few people, especially in the UK, with a market as small as it is, that are purely voice actors, certainly making a living being voice actors. So you kind of have to be ready to go. And what was nice about the best thing about the drama school training, of course, was the physical side, because these characters are very physical and larger than life. And we have movement directors that are going to keep us on track, keep us honest, and keep us telling that story authentically. And if you don't have that vocabulary and if you don't have that physical awareness, you're going to find it really hard. So it all sort of came into one, and it was a real pure acting. It was a real black box, wasn't it? You know, of imagination and going, where am I? What does it look like? Who am I talking to? Because that's not always, you know, obvious on an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. That was a fun challenge as a director as well. Was I tend to be quite imaginative when I direct, in terms of like I am picturing a scene, and again, this is where having played a lot of D&D came in very handy, because if someone said to me Baldur's Gate, even without playing previous video games, I had an image of what that kind of place was like in my head. If someone said like a druid's grove, I could imagine like what the general populace playing D&D would imagine, and that kind of thing, and having little shorthands to like, oh yeah, okay, well, I know who this famous character in the world is going to be, and that kind of thing. But it's translating that to the actor as well, who is in this literally, like Sam was saying, it's literally a black box, cameras all around the top, all around the bottom, a couple of lines on the floor to show you where your feet should go, and a camera like there, and the script like there, and trying to get actor, and obviously like some people are great at doing it on their own, and some people need just a little bit of like, okay, just take a second, close your eyes, hear the trees, now open your eyes and let's go. But yeah, finding ways to translate that for all of you. What did you let's talk about the recording process a little bit, and the mocap process. So for those who don't know, could you break down what you got to do, what you got to wear, how it works a little bit, and I'll chip in with anything from my perspective that's different.
A costume is provided for you. You are not required to bring your own. It's a humbling experience putting on the mocap and also bumping into people that you haven't seen in years also in mocap. And you kind of have to get over that one pretty quick. It's like a scuba suit, isn't it? And in our case, it's like a two-piece scuba suit with a belt around the middle for your battery pack for a microphone that goes here. And then our mocap engineers would put the markers on us. And then you go in and calibrate. So it's sometimes it was the closest to exercise that I got, and I was very grateful for that opportunity. a little, you know, moving the joints around so they can calibrate, and they calibrated our hands as well, which is really cool.
Including making sure you covered movements such as like the angry swan and holding a sausage roll.
That's it. It's a twist the arm. Greg's sausage roll, keeping it real in South London.
Have a little disco as well with a pointy finger. Yeah, all of those. And like the range of movement that you've got to do for your calibration. You've got to do things like lunges and big arms.
My physio was over the moon.
Yeah.
They weren't over the moon. But no, they're like, yeah, one lunge on each leg. Doesn't count, by the way, Sam. Yeah, I remember Angry Seagull.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do all that, and hopefully everything's still working on the computer side. It's a very complex load of calculations that it's doing. And then you get what we like to call the Power Ranger, which is it looks like that, and that's it. You're not getting like an avatar of yourself in the game. You're getting like a blank slate, but that again keeps you honest and sees how it comes across,
And the important thing with the Power Ranger is there's no face. Like it is like we say Power Ranger because it literally looks like it's just a mask. So you can see, like, you're so focused on the body and the body movements because there's so much communication that humans do that it is based on facial expression, which is that when you're making a game, that's down to the animators unless they're doing facial capture, which we weren't doing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, apart from all of the skin suit and the dots on the body, we also would have had to rig you up with an HMC, a head-mounted camera, and that's a whole nother like I did another project after BG3, which involved a lot of HMC footage, not at the same time as mocap. Thank goodness, because you think
I was gonna say, like, how long does that take?
Yeah, you think mocap is complicated. HMC just gets even more like making sure that the helmet is tight enough that it does not move even when the actor is doing this, but that also doesn't give your actor a headache. And every time you take the helmet off for a break, you've got to recalibrate and redo all the
Yeah, I'm not so keen on that one, I must say, if I ever get a choice. So yeah, for this, the other thing is we had a regular old vanilla camera as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happens after I finish my session. So that's there. I guess it's reference for animators. I tend to overuse my face. So thank you, animators, for making me look more sane than I would have done.
But they did manage to I think it's important because I know people have been like, oh, they did facial capture for it, and we didn't. But
we didn't.
They did get such a level of detail of expression, which I think is incredible. But that's nothing to do with us.
No. Nothing to do. We certainly, like, if there's any confusion at home, we didn't have dots on our faces and we didn't have that camera in our face, and that would be capture.
Yeah.
So if they're using that film, just like this, like a film, and that's inspiring, whatever, then great, but that's not facial capture.
Yeah. Great. Send the message out. We did not do.
Sometimes you'll get like, they'll go, yeah, no, I saw Sam talking and saying like, what it was like, oh, it's so hard doing that facial capture. Like, oh my God.
It is hard doing facial capture. We just didn't do it for this.
I've never done it. Yes.
So, okay. So we've talked through the mocap process, and was there anything that you found particularly restrictive working in that way, thinking about your body? Or was it like a whole new awareness to your body and what it did? Did you discover any like little movement like ticks and twitches you didn't realize that you did?
I like to think they were choices. Carla, so being heavy, being big and heavy, that's really what, not the challenge, but it was the rule to establish. And we knew that it would look weird if she had she moved too quickly, essentially, and that she's quite wide in the shoulders, and that it's just that heaviness to carry with you. Actually, what I found really hard was because there was no sort of, and for none of us, and I don't think in any games, there was just no training. No. So that was the hard bit. The discipline is each line essentially is recorded as solo, right? So you stand in a neutral position, you do your line, and then you come back to the neutral position, because if you don't do that, it didn't count. And of course, none of us are used to that on day one unless you've had that. So that was the discipline. That's what I was thinking about. The rest, as I said, we worked with various movement directors and voice directors in the room. We were doing all that collaboratively together. At time of recording, so that was an interesting one. Yeah. But once you found the rule of the character, we're used to the rule of the character, right? We're used to the physicality and the voice of the character, so that's fine. It was the discipline of mocap, the rules of the mocap, that was hard at the beginning. I think it was a bit of a learning curve at the beginning.
Yeah, I think I wanted to come back around to what you were saying about going back to neutral at the end of each line, because it was something that was very unique to this process. Because we were recording from basically we had you in the full mocap suit for the full body, but we were, for most of the scenes, capturing from your waist upwards to your head.
Yeah.
And all of that is for the big dialogue conversations that you have in the game, where you've got your multiple options and the characters react, and most of it is that sort of mid shot that that you see. And coming back to neutral is important because you might have a monologue of like 5 lines that you've got to do, but because there are so many options that the players can choose in this game, there are so many ways and paths. Like, you might, in one playthrough, you might say those 5 lines, but in another playthrough, because of the choices the players have made, you might only say the first 2 and then skip to the last one. Or you might just say the first one and then fight them. Or.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it was very rare that you actually got to do the 5 lines together as a 5-line monologue. And otherwise you have to come back to neutral so it could be stitched together and jigsaw puzzled together with all of the other potential options. But yeah, I think you did an incredible job in like getting back into that zone and getting back into the neutral.
There was a team of people ready to beat me with sticks if I didn't, so you all kept me honest. But no, I used to cheer when we got the surprise monologue.
Yeah.
Like, yes!
I get to keep going.
I can keep going. It was weird though, and the first like playback of reaching Karlak in the game, like seeing it stitched together, seeing that come back to neutral was a bit jarring actually. First time I thought, oh, I'm not sure if this works, because I'd never, obviously I'd never seen myself in a AAA game that sort of role. So I was like, oh, okay.
There's a lot of things to
my
process.
brain got used to it, but I was overanalyzing. Yeah.
I think I've this is a complete sidebar to playing the game, but I've mostly been playing through as my character that I've made, but I did start just a little Karlak run to see how it's different, because obviously it's completely different.
Thank you for your service.
You're very welcome. But also because I didn't get to see you record those lines as well, and I just love the little, like, anyone else, it's just the narrator saying like, oh, you think this and you think this and you should go this way. But for Karlak, she's got her own little monologue of like, oh, I'm out, fuck yeah, and it's great. It's just, it's so, if you've not done a Karlak run, at least start it, because it's super wholesome and slightly different perspective. Back to the recording process. Was there a particular scene or moment? Now, I'm just going to precede this with we're in the realm of heavy spoilers. Here, folks. We're in the realm of spoilers. We'll try and keep it like a gentle sprinkling rather than full ruin.
Just yell at me if I go too far, or we'll start again.
But did you have a favorite section or bit of dialogue, or even like a one-liner that sticks with you that you particularly enjoyed doing?
You see, one-liners, they change every day. People have discovered Stinky this week. Kind of like Stinky. I think after killing Auntie Ethel, say Stinky. That's it. Sounds so stupid. I love it. But I've talked about it quite a bit. There's a scene where Karlak can get her own form of justice. There's a scene regarding that, and I just ate that up because that was monologuing, and I was like, yes.
I think
letting that body go and do what it wants to do, rather than having to make sure I can always come back by the end. Just going further and further with it.
Great.
That was fun.
I think that was one of the ones that I was chatting with a couple of the other members of the Roll Together team, and we didn't realise we'd spoiled it for someone else, but Tom was saying about that. Tom is one of our players and DMs, was saying, I think I know which monologue you're on about. And he was mentioning about like that was a really cool. Because
that was the truth of Karlak, and she puts a mask on top of it the entire time. Which apparently people with PTSD do, because they've been in contact to say it was a really authentic, like particularly people that have served in the military, like they get it. They get why she's making the dark jokes and brushing things off. But I mean, she's also really, really lucky and happy to be out of hell. Like there's that relief, that true relief of being out. But when she's actually faced with the things she's been trying to avoid the whole time, and it's there in front of her, that facade just drops. So it was really fun because I was always hanging on to that. That was on every line, That was always there. So the fact that I get to show you that ugliness and then shut it up again was just love. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed doing that.
Great. Yeah, great. Did you have any like particular moments that you struggled with from a blooper perspective? Any lines that you just couldn't get out because it was too silly, too fun, or
If
made
you
giggle?
can remember any, because I'm not a corpser, am I? I don't tend to lose it. So
yeah, I was trying to think back on this because from the sessions that we had together, and I know there were japes, but I don't remember any lines being ridiculous. Like there was that video that went round on Twitter like earlier in the year that Aliona posted. Aliona is one of the movement directors and is also the girlfriend of Jennifer English, who plays Shadowheart. And there was that video of a session that I was running where it was like a Friday afternoon. We needed a bit of energy, so I was reading Lae'zel's lines as Dev would read Lae'zel's lines. And Jen properly got the
I
giggles.
remember that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That's fair though. I would if someone was doing Karlak in the booth. Hilarious.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I did a line as Karlak for one of the prompts, and I was told it was
did you?
very good.
But we could have done that with all the origin lines. We could
Right.
have talked to each other.
I know. That's one of the things I love, and it was not practical in this case because of the sheer amount of content to record, but it's always a treat when, for both as an actor and a director, when you either the ultimate is getting both actors in the room together and getting them to just be able to play off each other, or at least if one actor's already recorded, getting their select takes and playing it to the other actor so you actually have an honest response.
Yeah, that was a treat when that happened. I'll tell you what, I had a running joke.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever a new character was introduced, so I'd go, "Can you romance them?"
Yeah.
And then they go, "Yeah." I go, "Yeah, I know."
Great.
Great.
Add them to the list.
If character exists, can romance. Okay.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You've been doing your own playthrough on Twitch and YouTube. I to my shame, because I do not have unlimited time in the world, I'm afraid. I've not been watching.
I would not expect anyone to watch that nonsense, but they did.
And there's an audience of people enjoy it, especially when there's people that they know and like and stuff involved. So, but how is that playthrough going for you?
It's long because I'm chatting to people.
Yeah,
it's sparking memories, and that was kind of the point of it, was to be a way for me to talk about the performance without me sitting still and talking about the performance and then going, "Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, I've forgotten this thing." So also, as you know, we filmed out of order. So to see it in order is also a treat. I also just thought it was hilarious. We've got a character who talks to herself. So you've got that going on, and then you've got me talking over it. You've got these three voices. Yeah, I just thought it was hilarious. So I started doing that, and then even showing little secret bits. Like if you step straight off the Nautiloid, don't go to Shadowheart as Karlak, and go for a long old rest.
Mm-hmm.
Extra content
on
Twitch. End of the first episode, beginning of the second, because there were two, and I was like, "Oh no, I didn't show you this one," so I then went back. But because I'm not a streamer and I can't sit there for 4 hours and play this, right? And also be expected to be good and entertaining at it. I think someone did a calculation of how many years that an hour per week is going to take me to play the game. Now I'm thinking maybe I just do smash cuts of my progress and upload those rather than putting everyone through that torture. Especially inventory management. No one wants to see. Yeah. No one wants that on a stream. You have to do that off stream unless you've somehow played it so many times. You're really fast at moving it around. But yeah,
I love this game so much. But if I could change one thing, if I could change two things, one of it would be finding some way of streamlining the inventory, but to keep the flexibility and the possibilities open, it has to be so involved. But also I really wish that they just got rid of the option to click on vases. You could open every vase and every jug and there's never anything in there.
But everyone's played with that person, right? I check the vases, right? Yeah, you check, there's nothing in the vase.
But this is my problem, Sam, is I have to check.
There you go.
I physically have to.
It's well programmed then.
And it hurts every time.
Do an area search, so it kind of tells you if there's anything. It's empty.
So I think that's a console thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm a PC player. So we don't get that. So I have to actively click on everything.
Oh man. Yeah, you just added 20 hours to your playthrough.
Yeah. I'm not even I've had more time to play it than you have, but I'm not even halfway through Act 2 yet. So yeah. Sad times. Where are you up to in your playthrough then? You said
Just got a scratch in the owlbear.
Yay!
So I was like, well, this isn't going to get any better, is it? So I just got them ended there. And then I was on my way to try and get Helsing out. Because like that, oh my God, that grove. And doing it as a tiefling as well.
Yeah. My
Morga's a
character's tiefling
sassy
as well.
bitch. Right? And I'm not playing Darklack. I'm playing more sort of neutral with her. She hasn't got Tab's good influence. That's what that is. Yeah. So because people go, oh yeah, if such and such happens, will Karlach leave the party? And it's like, no, your game won't be over. It's not like Disco Elysium. You know, you were shamed to death. End of game. You know, like she will go on to the end if she's done some gnarly shit. I think she does. If you go down that path, she does like going around throwing her weight around and saying, I'm Zariel's bodyguard, mate. Cough up. You know, she'll go and mug people and stuff. It's fun. So it's there. And then we've done an end, you know, because not everyone likes to play her as good as well. There's evil endings with Karlach.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing. You can't.
You recorded them.
I suppose you can't. Obviously, like Dark Urge is its own character anyway, so you can't play like Dark Urge, but you can definitely.
You won't get that storyline, but you can certainly play as like evil character.
Evil
you can do nasty shit.
Yeah, Korga's a funny one as well because Korga, like again, I don't know. Do you know Claire Corbett?
I don't.
No,
I don't. I love to hate this character. I know. She's done a great job. She's done a great job.
She's great, and she's really like that. Korga is an awful person, but Claire Corbett is so lovely and so excitable and like mum in dungarees with puppy energy.
Wonderful.
But she also does the little the intellect devourers at the very start.
So she's us.
Little brains, take me with you. Like she does the same. Those as well.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic! Yeah, that's really cool to know.
Yeah. So, on your playthrough, have you romanced anyone yet?
Just myself. Someone asked me who I was going for. Like, you can plan that. I think it might be going down with Lae'zel because you know what Karlach's sense of humor is like, right? And she's a soldier. Anyway, you know, like Lae'zel digging at her is like someone pulling your hair, isn't it? Because they like you. That's how Karlach sees it. Karlach's not that fussed, mate. She's touch-starved. She hasn't had sex for 10. Not that she'll admit to in 10 years. We discovered some content the other day. Went, oh yeah, she doesn't want to tell anyone about that encounter. Doesn't count. It doesn't count. But yeah, I thought, she's not fussed. As long as I guess you're not evil. Although they're unlocking Minthara now. You don't have to choose between. I guess it's what Will and Karlach or her. Yeah. So that looks like I've seen Emma's performance. With later on in the game if she's romancing Karlach, and it's I've got to get some of that. I've
not watched it. I know Deborah was doing a run and she's gone for an evil run, so she sided with the goblins. Never want to take the light path, always the dark option if possible, Deborah. So she's stormed the grove with the goblins and then has unlocked the Minthara. I don't think you can call it romance scene.
I mean, you could say the same with Lae'zel. I mean, is it romantic?
Yes, actually, yes, the Lae'zel romance. Because I'm also romancing Lae'zel, mostly because I'm just like, again, I'm in a position of. I know all the cast, and it's
right. That's interesting.
And
that bleed through is interesting. Yeah.
If it wasn't you, it probably would have been Karlach, but it's you, and it's weird.
Oh no, I'm going to romance everyone. What's annoying is it's not Mass Effect 2, in which I essentially played as Captain Kirk. It doesn't remember, right? All it knows is the system knows is whether you're in a romance or not. So they'll comment on it and go, well, I think you should break up with so-and-so before you get with me. And you're like, right, fine. Then you have that scene and then you break up with him, move on. Whereas Baldur's going, oh, it remembers.
Oh, yeah.
Even Lae'zel will slut shame you.
There's passive aggression, all over the place.
But to be fair, you know, they're sleeping in the open air next to each other. People can see and hear everything.
Yeah.
So they've really gone for that realism. I love reading salty messages about, I decided I was going to sleep around and then then people didn't want to be with me, and that sucks. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a bit like real life, dude.
Yeah. It's like they've thought about it and they've tried to write real 3D characters.
Stop sleeping around the office. Like after a bit, people aren't going to be that into it.
Yeah. I think some of the funniest lines that I directed to record were the companion characters reacting to a player saying, hey, so I've slept with someone else, or hey, so we need to split up, or hey, I really like you, can we get together? Well, not unless you break up with Shadowheart. Like all of there are so many different options and edge cases covered by those lines, but so many of them are so I don't think we recorded any of Karlak's together, but like Lae'zel's are cutting. And oh no, there's a couple of Astarians as well. There was one of Astarians where I think Neil fully got the giggles because it was, you got to break up with Shadowheart first, and it was something like oh well, she's used to being left behind or something like that, and it was just so brutal.
That's him though, right? That's that character.
Right?
It's just a catty thing. Yeah.
Amazing. We've got about 20 minutes left. We have like a typical list of questions that we usually ask for roll together guests, and I've taken and tweaked a couple of these because some of them assume that you play D&D all the time, and I know you have, but that's not necessarily. Actually, no. Let's cover that. Well, like what did you have any D&D experience before the High Rollers game?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I played shortly. I'll try and get these do these quick. Right, let's the quick fire a bit. I played in person. There's a D&D meetup in Covent Garden once a week. You may know it, may not.
I've never been, but I know it exists.
Yeah, so it's you're a mercenary. You turn up at the tavern, you get hired for a one shot. It works really nicely for people working out, and there's lots of new DMs in there, and it's fun and usually quite brutal and sick. So I like that. For which I played Barbarian, funny enough, first time, because I thought smash things, storyline. That's what I storyline first, really. I'm more interested in that than all the spells and slots, and I can't do it. So then when we went to lockdown, my friend who I was playing with, he's been DMing forever, DM sessions over Zoom with online tools. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Was it Roll20? Using that, and that was fun as well. And I was doing that after a long day at work. So that was a long time to be on camera for. Yeah. And then I kind of got the game and I haven't played again. A bit busy with that. So I haven't played for a while.
Is it the kind of thing that you think you'd like to go back to again at some point?
It is very committed, isn't it? I mean, it is very committed.
It can be, unless you're doing like one shots or one-offs or short campaigns.
But then there's lots of prep for that as well. Yeah. I like to be very prepped, and then I like to play a character I've never played before, which means researching that character. So I find it a lot of prep. But I certainly wouldn't say no to doing it again in future. It's just I've got to find a way to do it so it doesn't take over my life.
Yeah, that is the problem I've run into. Yeah.
And I know. I mean, my friend, this DM, he was playing 2-3 games a week. Yeah. And as a composer, and I'm like, how? How are you doing this? I think he was DMing one and playing in 2 others, and I was like, how?
Good diary management, and at the expense of, in my case, I've not read as many books as I wanted to this year, and because of Baldur's Gate 3 as well, I've not played as many other games as I wanted to this year. But for me, it's part of my social life. Yeah, like it's how I see some of my friends and stuff. So
I think that's the essential thing, isn't it? We focus on the game and the mechanic. I mean, tabletop games and mechanics, but really, essentially, you want to be playing with friends. Yeah, because you're stuck with them. You want to know that you've got people that you know and like, and know and like you, because it can be quite hard. Like that was the sort of not downside, but the London group is that you don't have that bond, and you're just working your characters out at the same time. So it's a very longhand way to play. If that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, well, why don't you go ahead? You've got a D20 there, right?
I have.
What colour is your D20? Show us. Show us.
Oh, it's a beautiful sky colours. Get it? It's a bit celestial, isn't it?
Yeah, is there a bit of sparkle going on in there as well?
Yeah, there's a little bit of sparkle. It's mainly blue, but there's also bits of orange and yellow in there too. So
nice.
Very nice.
Do you want to roll it for me and let me know what number you get, and I'll see which question comes up.
10.
10. Okay. So on the knowledge that you want to make sure that it fits in with your lifestyle. But if you were to sit down and play D&D with anyone, alive or dead, so people you know, people you don't know, celebrities, historical figures, whatever, who would you want to, like, this is the dinner party question, but who would you want to play D&D with?
Do I have to have a whole team of people?
Just name a couple.
Have one?
All right,
I'm trying to think, who? I mean, to be fair, there's loads of like friends I haven't seen in years that we keep putting things off with. So maybe I'd just get those friends around, because that kills two birds. It's a really boring answer, but it's a quicker one than if I have to actually try and answer it in the way you'd like me to.
There is no the way that I would like you to answer these questions. You can answer
people that your viewers have heard of. No, I can't answer that. But people I haven't seen, in some cases years. Yes, that would be nice.
That's a perfectly valid thing. Is there anyone in particular out of that group that you think they would make a good DM, or would you want to try? Would you ever consider?
No. Leon Killen. Leon Killen as DM.
Oh, lovely Leon. Yeah. Nice. That's a good choice.
He's very responsible, but he's also fun and kind, and just exactly what you want in a DM spirit, Yeah.
For those who I imagine most of the people watching
won't
know who Leon is, but he does a lot of lovely advocacy work. That's the
diversity, inclusion, and belonging. I believe it is what he does. Yeah,
video games, which is really important and really good. Amazing. Okay, well, roll that d20 again. Roll that dice. We'd say roll that dice. We have a little gif.
4.
A 4. Okay. If you had to suddenly give a 20-minute presentation on something that was not related to your job or games, what would you pick?
Can it be... so when you say my job, you mean acting?
Yeah.
Because I've done other jobs. So
okay,
I'll do a tech talk then, because I used to be in tech. I'll do a tech talk on how being an actor helped me be a better software engineer. There you go. Storytelling. Psychological safety. Very, very, very important in the workplace. Okay. And I think that's rule 1, right, in acting spaces. Is to make us safe, relaxed. All that people feel free to either speak out or feel free to say they're not comfortable. Mm-hmm. So that's really, really important that that's not seen as something that might go against you, if you say you're uncomfortable. So yeah, that was always a big thing. And that's been a big problem in the tech jobs that you've worked in before? I think it's a big problem in any sort of office job, really. There's a lot of certain cultures that we need to dismantle. It's a culture that's served one part of society and not the rest of us, Mm-hmm. So we need to do that. But yeah, Google have a big old book on psychological safety. Mm-hmm. So the question was like, what aspects do teams have to make them successful? It's always money, right? It always comes down to the end. So it's not like going to the same schools, being from the same country, speaking from the same language. It's literally feeling safe in a room together. Mm-hmm. They are the most successful teams in the world. So isn't that interesting? That really throws that on its head, that you have to have certain education or a background or whatever. Of course, most companies won't implement that. No. Because undoing these structures is time-consuming and expensive, as if the system has been built around actively trying to stop certain people entering the industry. So yeah, I'm already talking about it for 5 minutes. So you can get 20 minutes out of me on that one.
Easy peasy. I feel like this is less a TED Talk and more a manifesto as well.
Either or both.
Rallying the revolution.
Yeah.
Amazing. Roll that dice again.
11. Okay.
Have you ever cosplayed before?
I have, actually. I did a double cosplay at EGX as Cloud. No, not as Cloud. No, it was a mashup. I could have got sued. It was amazing. No. Tell you what happened. I went as Dark Link because my hair was dark, and my friend thought it'd be hilarious to give me like half a Link cosplaying costume. So I went as Link, and then there was a promo for the Final Fantasy remake. That was it, and I held the sword. But within the picture, it kind of looks like Cloud anyway. It's weird. It's this weird crossover. And then later, I was Jessica Jones because I dressed back in my normal clothes.
I was going to say that's
it's me.
Clothes, isn't it?
That's my clothes. But I then went, no, I meant to. It's Jessica Jones. So I did a double cosplay plus Cloud. Because that's how I roll.
This is a few years ago, right? This is
It's pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
I think now I heard that Matt Mercer does cosplay as roles that have nothing to do with him, so he can walk the floor.
I mean,
That's
that
a
makes
good idea.
sense. Yeah. They do Critical Role. Do you watch Critical Role at all?
I watched a little bit, but again, it's the time, isn't it?
So
It's
much time,
to,
yeah. I'd started watching the third campaign because it was a fresh start, and then I tailed off after about 30 episodes. Not because I wasn't enjoying it, just because
30 episodes though.
I know. It was a quiet work time. it
Fair.
was yeah. But yeah, so they do for their Halloween episode every year. They always they dress up and do fancy dress. But one of the years, a few years ago, they did costumes as characters that they have all, because obviously they're all voice actors, so characters that they've all played, which was very good.
Can I be Thomasina? Because that's really easy.
Yeah. I mean, that was a natural follow-up question. Out of the characters you've played, which would you pick Thomasina as?
Thomasina, please. Just wear a little neck chief. Put their hair up. That's it, really.
Do you want to do your mandated? I think it's here in the rider. Give Sam time to shout about Hobbs Barrow.
Yeah, you got the message.
Do you want to shout about it? Tell people who Thomasina is.
So Thomasina is the main role in the point-and-click adventure game. I guess it's folk horror. It's set in North Yorkshire in the mid-late 1800s, and that's in it. Dave Jones Helson is in it.
Yeah.
Basically everyone's in it. It's great. And it was made by Cloak and Dagger Games and produced and voice directed by Dave Gilbert of Wadget Eye Games.
Lovely Dave.
Absolute legend. Loves his actors. And that was a little mini hit last. I mean, that was a precursor of things to come, because again we thought, it's really well made and it's great. But I think in its specificity, it really, really, really stood out. There is no other game like it. Yeah. Certainly not set then and there and with the vibes that it has. And it's got this really synthy 80s soundtrack on top of it, which sounds weird, but play it. And
it just works so well.
It totally works. But I guess it's that sense of dread, right?
Yeah.
All the way through. You could kind of do violins or something, but we're so used to that, I think. It was something else. And it got me longlisted for the BAFTA for leading performer in a game last year.
Yeah,
so
it did.
that was amazing, because that's a top 10. That's a top 10. And having become a member since and seeing that there are a lot of actors, the fact, and it's not done under the actor's name, it's done under the character role. So, bear in mind we're going up against God of War, etc. The fact that people clicked on Thomasina.
Yeah.
It will always blow my mind, because no marketing budget, micro indie, all the rest. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good game. Actually, and it's out on Switch and Steam and GOG.
It is.
That's it. There we go. I got there.
Yeah. Well done. Got it. Boxes ticked. No, I joke. We do love the Cloak and Dagger, and Hobbs Barrow is just such a special thing to be part of. One of the things you mentioned before, though, I wanted to touch on, because I realised, I did a terrible introduction of you before. It was very rambly, but
That's two of us then. I'm just.
What are you expecting? I'm supposed to be a figure of authority in recording rooms.
You're a benevolent dictator.
You
Yes.
are a BAFTA breakthrough, Brit.
I am.
Yeah.
It's BAFTA breakthrough now. Just BAFTA breakthrough. Yeah, because they do it in America and India as well. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's why we had to have Brit on the end, because there's
no, because it used to just be Brits, but now they've gone. Yeah, they've gone the other way with it in a way. Yeah.
Fair enough. How's that? You had a fantasy photo shoot. Has that been the main
thing
that's
what's happened so far?
Okay.
We had a very fancy shoot. We're having a party tomorrow.
Oh,
so sweet. And I get to meet all the others properly, because we only sort of crossed over in the shoot. It's also a sort of, as well as, I guess, being a promotion, getting us out there. It's almost as if you've won, and a BAFTA is in they put you out there in the world and get you some good press and everything. But also it's a careers program as well. So I've had a meeting with a careers coach, which I never even would have thought of before, and he's really motivating everyone, because we're on the old WhatsApp, and people are a bit cynical, because we're seen as mid-career, so we're already doing it. What's he got to teach us, kind of thing? But he really, really got you to nail down exactly what you want out of this.
Great.
On a very personal level. So it was just lovely guy that did that. And we got media training, which was, for me personally, having done the BG3 junket, it's a bit late in the day, but Thankfully, I had talked to very nice game enthusiasts rather than, scary broadsheet or tabloid press, who can try and gotcha you.
I think we've got time for a couple more. Like, let's do some super quick fire questions. Roll that dice one more time for me.
13. Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. Oh no, that's a longer question. Roll it again.
Okay, I'll roll it again. Oh no, no. Had that one. 3.
A 3. Okay. This is quite a roll together specific thing, so go with me on this one. If you could only eat pickles with faces on them, sausage flavoured ice cream, or halfling cheese for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Sausage flavoured ice cream.
Sausage flavoured ice cream. Why?
I don't have a sweet tooth. In the words of John Hodgman, I have an alcohol molar. I love my savoury food.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's a quick answer.
Great. Roll it again.
7.
7.
Yeah, which is lucky.
We've covered that. Roll it again.
19.
19. Ooh. Okay, so this is an interesting one that this could be for your current playthrough with Karlach in Baldur's Gate 3 or any of the TTRPGs you've played. If you could go back and change an in-game decision, what would it be?
That's a good one. My second campaign I played online with my friend was as Hope. She was a tiefling warlock. So she regrets that whole
Many
thing.
things.
She would rather not be maybe a sorcerer, maybe not a wizard, a sorcerer, rather than a warlock. She was always trying to get out of the pact. It was horrible. It was like with Cthulhu or something. He would, a lot of the time, Cthulhu would give her dreams to hand out pamphlets to the rest of the crew. It was very embarrassing for her.
Not again, Cthulhu.
They just don't want to come to church, and I want to stay friends with them. So, can we knock this on? Leaflets.
Don't embarrass me in front of the cool.
Leaving it on the table. It's like just think about it. Just think about it.
Amazing. All right. I think I'm gonna pick question 1 because you're not rolled one. You've had relatively lucky dice actually. How would Karlach and Sam deal with karaoke, and what would their and your go-to song be?
It's like you're kind of conflating us. Interesting.
No, no. These are 2 questions. Okay.
Also, can I?
How
would
Karlach be in karaoke, and what would her song be?
And what am I?
Okay.
Yeah. Can I just say Nat is an incredible singer and shocked me at karaoke. Yeah. Karlach will sing the Ace of Spades.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
A lot. But she'll probably do, like, you won't get her off it. She's just out of hell. There's not much music there. So she'll want to do Angels, and we'll look, oh no, and she'll be drunk. Yeah. It's just hot. She's gonna fight you to hang on to that microphone. So maybe let's not.
No, we love messy drunk karaoke.
You just stay on it, stay on the machine, and be like, no, I'm doing all of them.
It's my show now. And what about you?
I don't know. I haven't done it in ages. I spent ages looking at the book, being really indecisive. And then in the meantime, someone will get up and do that song that I'm thinking about. So I don't know. I don't have a go. I certainly don't have a go-to. I think that's the problem I need to go to.
Yeah. That's my problem, is that I've done karaoke with so many different groups now that they all know that I do Bonnie Tyler and Bjork, It's So Quiet, and then now I have to come up with other songs because they've all heard them before.
Bohemian Rhapsody, get your time's worth.
I mean, yeah, that is definitely a group.
I Am the Resurrection, that's about 10 minutes, isn't it? Stone Roses.
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody is definitely a group. Okay, if the next time we're out doing and karaoke happens, which bit of Bohemian Rhapsody do you want to sing?
Bismillah bit.
Okay. Just a big Bismillah.
Yep. Like just all of it on my own.
Great.
We used to do it in choir. We used to do it in choir, so I know all the parts.
Amazing. Right, well, that's the deal. And there will never be any footage of it. No one will ever see. Amazing. No one will ever know.
That's a deal.
Right, I think that's about all that we have time for. Is there anything that you wanted to say that you didn't have a chance to say?
Yes, bugbear, mocap. Let's do this. Sometimes we had cinematic mocap. It was in a different location. By the time it's to do with walking around and doing action because our studio wasn't built for that. If you hear that someone is saying they've done my mocap, not entirely true. They have done my mocap. I have also done my mocap.
Yeah.
They put the two performances together. They put the two performances together and mesh it. So if you ever see me like basically if I'm speaking and you're in a close-up, yeah, I did the mocap for it. As simple as that. I have to keep saying it because I think there's all these different stories going around. Natty, as a director, can confirm this.
I can. I saw you wore dots.
You were there.
You did a move.
Yeah.
Although actually, the
like
dancing Karlach wasn't.
Not me. So the general rule is if I'm not talking, and if it's like cameras pulled out, that was someone called Tamara, who's in Belgium. I found out the other week. I was so happy. No, I was so happy because everyone kept asking me, and I was like, well, it isn't me, and I don't want to keep saying I don't know. So Thierry, from the head of the animation department in Belgium, told me the other day, essentially, and she is Karlach in battle.
Great.
As well. So yeah, all that sort of idle or battle stuff with the camera zoomed out, that's not going to be me either.
Great.
It took a lot of people to make Karlach, but if I'm talking, it's me. I did the mocap.
Well, I mean, because you say it was a team of people that did the mocap, because I knew Aliona did a lot of the mocap. I knew Neil, actually, as well as being busy doing Astarion, he did a lot of the mocap for loads of other background stuff as well. Josh Witchard, who is one of the Tav voices, also did a whole bunch of the mocap. And I think I saw him doing, is this spoilery? There is a moment, I'm not going to say where, there is a moment where Karlach has a cigar.
But yeah, I did. I also did that.
Oh, did you? Interesting.
Between us, unless me and him are in the room together, watching that being edited, because we're in not only different studios but different locations.
Yeah.
None of us can say it was 100% whatever. Yeah. What I will say is someone spent a lot of money to get me in a studio for 4 hours in a mocap suit to do something that could be voice recorded in a couple of minutes. I did it with Kirsty. And it's a shame that that's sort of come out because it was all like, because Sam was saying, we're getting them all back in. But to be honest, I was back in the studio within a week of the game coming out, long before anyone got to an ending and whatever. Yeah. We were already, that was obviously on the list to be completed, and I did it. And then it's just a shame that it's not only like my performance that gets minimized if we only talk about voice only, because I never did voice only again in that sort of close-up situation, but also of all the mocap engineers and the movement directors and who work with that material. So they mesh it together. And essentially that particular one was kind of used as, what do you call it? A sort of track. So I was played the scene. This is what it's going to look like. These are the bits where you're talking. You're going to turn around here. You're going to offer a cigar there on that line. So the end performance is going to be an amalgamation of those two performances. Mm-hmm. As simple as that. So and I think it was a similar thing with Neil saying he did Karlach mocap. It was interpreted as he did 100% of my mocap, and I went in and did voice. And even though I've been on the show on his show and we talked about it, that doesn't always get through. No. So I have to just keep saying
everywhere, every opportunity.
Been following me, and I sound a bit mental and obsessed. It's just because we all did the same work. Oh, that's another thing. Really quickly, 4 years on a project does not mean 4 years 9 to 5.
No,
because that's how it's been interpreted. Yeah. Me doing less than a year has been interpreted as being rushed in it, but actually me doing every other evening and weekends, I felt helped me as a performer, because I've got, first of all, it's much closer to the average game experience from the actor's perspective. You are the last thing to come in before it goes into post-production. It's the same in films, right? TV and all that. What was happening with the others is they were in EA, essentially, but we were all wrapping up at the same time.
Yeah.
Acts 2 and 3 were coming in at the same time for all of us. And just a bit of data, if you still don't believe me, is our voice lines only have been data mined. I think me and Dev are within half an hour of each other in terms of total lines. I think she's almost at 11 and I'm at 10 and a half.
Yeah.
So it's there. It was there. A lot of it's hidden in Origin, but it's there. I put in the same amount of hours. It's just over a much shorter period of time. And to be honest, I'm playing with someone who feels that they are on borrowed time. Yeah. So that was always really helpful to just go in and go, right, let's go.
Gotta go.
Where am I? What does it look like? I've got it. Let's go.
Amazing.
Disambiguation on the whole.
Yeah. I think it's important to say, and I know we're running a little bit over now, but things like the thing that frustrated me with Neil Newbon, wonderful Neil Newbon, amazing, winning awards, king, was given 30 seconds at the Game Awards to do
I mean,
his
they all
thank
were.
yous.
They all were.
Yeah,
It's
but
gross.
it takes a village, people, and Mr. Newbon is wonderful, but what we were just saying there about how much goes into how many people work on every character in so many aspects, and it becomes hard to detangle it and pull it apart. And yeah, you are the face, and it is you and your heart that you've put into the character, but there are so many other like building blocks underneath.
It's probably the most collaborative art form that I've participated in.
Yeah, which is great as well.
Yeah.
But screw you, Game Awards, for not giving Neil time to actually talk about that.
Are people still surprised about the Game Awards? Are people genuinely surprised? It's just getting more and more, it's
more and more advertising.
Load of adverts.
This is very close to us getting on another rant, so I think
that's it. That's what I mean. Bloody commented. This is like it's just this load of I feel sorry for the ones who don't get their 30 seconds get to win. You've sat in a room and been forced to watch trailers and ads.
These 5 people also won awards. Great. Now to the next trailer. Anyway, Sam, we could put the world to rights for hours.
Maybe we should.
Let's just keep going. No one can stop. No, we should. I have other things to do today.
That is fair.
We'll save it for the next time we grab a drink. But everyone else, thank you for joining us and watching and hanging out in chat. Hello, chat. We stream these talk-togethers on Fridays from 6 till 7 p.m. GMT. Next Friday, I believe it's going to be... cut this out if I'm not allowed to say kobolds. But it's going to be some of the Roll Together cast talking about their Baldur's Gate 3 playthroughs. So come join us for that and how we've been playing this game with so many options. On Mondays and Tuesdays, we stream our regular D&D games, 6 till 9 p.m. GMT. We're fully into Christmas one-shots territory at the moment. So you've already had 2 Christmas one-shots this week just gone, and we've got another 2 delightful, very silly, very wholesome, very wonderful silly times coming up for you next week, so please tune in for those. You can join us on twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg to watch us live and join in on chat. But if you miss it, don't worry, it's always in YouTube not long after, and podcasts as well, so come join us wherever is suitable for you. A huge thank you once again to our sponsors and supporters, but most of all, our D20 Club. You are wonderful, wonderful people. They help us with make all of the content we do. And Sam, did you know our D20 Club have built us a Discord and a wiki, and you can find all the information about Roll Together campaigns and characters and stuff on that wiki. And
sounds amazing. What
great.
Geniuses these people are.
Right? You can be so cool like they are by sponsoring us from as little as 1 of your local currencies per month. Links will be in chat. Thank you again, Sam. Thank you, everyone else.
Thank you.
That's everything from me. And okay, we have this thing that we have to say at the end of talk togethers. It's a little bit cheesy, but go with me on this. Everyone, always stay classy at the table.